CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. AMA is hitting the brakes on some motorcycle insurance policies. Some riders will need to find a new provider as the company gets ahead of Alberta's upcoming auto insurance changes. Evan Kenny has reaction from Edmonton's motorcycle community.
Anyone else get a notice of non-renewal from their insurer?
It's been a common question in motorcycle groups over the last week.
What is a good company in Alberta to insure my motorbike? Because AMA is saying that after my term, they're taking it off.
Some riders with insurance through AMA are receiving letters saying their policy would not be extended even if they have a clean driving record.
Like, is it just going to be, you can't insure a motorcycle in Alberta anymore?
With Alberta's upcoming shift to a Care First system, if you're injured in a crash, instead of suing the driver who caused it, your insurance would compensate you based on rates set by the province. AMA says that's part of the reason it's not renewing a small number of policies for riders who represent a significantly higher injury risk.
These insurance companies are almost just going out on a limb and saying, like, we are assuming that something is going to happen and we are assuming we're going to have to pay for your damages or whatever, but that's also kind of what insurance is for.
I've checked my insurance like a week ago and I still have insurance, so I should be okay, knock on wood.
Riders with coverage under other insurance companies are worried they could be next.
I think people should be entitled to the insurance. They pay their money.
AMA is the only insurance company CTV News could confirm is not renewing customers because of the upcoming changes to Alberta's insurance model.
If you're paying this insurance premium for X amount of years and say you're 5 years into paying for a premium and it's $1,000 a year, you've now paid them their $5,000. They should be there beck and call to kind of cover that and pay it.
The province says it was assured by AMA changes to its insurance policies were not associated with the transition to Care First. The new insurance rules go into effect January. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Some people across the city have noticed their tap water smelling and tasting strongly of chlorine. EPCOR says it's the result of treating spring runoff, and the water is still safe to drink. EPCOR says the chlorine smell is due to how it treats the runoff as it interacts with sediment and organic matter found in the North Saskatchewan River. It adds this year's runoff is occurring more quickly than in previous years, meaning more decomposing vegetation is making its way into the river.
All the dead leaves and the organics that were there from the fall is now making their way through creeks, and the creeks make their way to the North Saskatchewan River, causing all this organic to be concentrated under the ice. So the ice hasn't broken yet, so we're not seeing the mixing that we often see once the ice breaks up. So with the rain that we had last week, it's accentuating these concentration that we're actually dealing with this week.
Some temporary measures to help reduce effects include running your taps for 3 minutes to flush the pipes. Around 300 volunteers across the city are doing taste and sniff tests every day of their tap water and reporting results to EPCOR. The smell or taste of chlorine is expected to last 3 to 5 days. A section of 215th Street, better known as Winterburn Road, is about to close to traffic for nearly a year. The city says developers are ready to give the road some much-needed upgrades. Amanda Anderson reports.
So we have our coffee that we're going to be roasting.
The countdown is on for Joanna Wakeford. Her new coffee shop in the Edgemont community will open in about 45 days.
We're really excited because all of our customers are consistently connecting with us via social media or over the phone. They can't wait for us to open.
What she didn't realize is a major street leading to her new business will close several weeks before she opens. 215th Street will close next Tuesday, March 31st.
215, or also known as Winterburn Road, is going to be updated from a rural road to urban collector road. And so that's going to be from Muskogee Trail, or 23rd, to 45th.
A stretch Wakeford also drives, and one she calls dangerous.
A lot of people drive at higher speed limits than they should for the road conditions. It's pretty dark at night. It's not properly marked, and there are big potholes.
Although extra lanes won't be added, the upgrades will mean more space for drivers. shoulders will be added to eliminate people driving next to deep ditches in some spots. Lighting will also be installed.
It's no cost to taxpayers. It is all borne by the developers.
Drivers are being asked to detour onto 199th Street during construction.
It's definitely going to be an inconvenience for people who typically take 215 and Winterburn Road, but this is a bit of a short-term pain for a long-term gain. Councillor Tu Parmar says the city will monitor traffic impacts in other areas that arise because of the closure. Wakeford knows the closure will bring challenges. Still, she's keeping a glass-half-full outlook on the situation.
I find that people will definitely continue coming to the area. They'll find alternate routes.
The closure is expected to last about 11 months. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Oil prices fell this morning after U.S. President Donald Trump said the U.S. would hold off striking Iran's energy infrastructure. With gas prices fluctuating, callers into the Premier's weekend radio show were asking about the fuel relief tax program. Danielle Smith says under the program's guidelines, the best the province can do would amount to a reduction of 13 cents a litre. She's not confident that will be much help because the conflict is expected to drive world oil prices higher. She says the challenge is to do something meaningful while managing expectations.
I don't know how quickly this conflict is going to end, but if it turns out that we end up not only with the higher royalty revenues, but also with gas tax revenues, we'll see if we can look at some programs that will help those who are really facing the pinch from an affordability point of view.
There are also concerns about price gouging at the pumps. The Premier says she doesn't think that's happening and says she'll ask Service Alberta Minister Dale Nally to keep an eye on the situation. Smith and Energy Minister Brian Jean are in Houston, Texas this week at the CERAWeek Energy Conference. Alberta's delegation will be advocating for greater market access while growing international relationships. Smith and Jean will meet with government officials and business leaders from around the world to promote Alberta's energy sector and the role our province can play in a secure energy future. Alberta municipalities have been told they may get a bill from the province for using integrated firefighter paramedics. With agreements expiring this September, the province says it's updating how ambulance services are contracted. As CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports, the new approach is putting municipalities in a difficult position.
We've been providing EMS services to Strathcona County since 1972.
Eric Lowe is president of the union branch representing Strathcona County fire medics. More than 20 years ago, he started working strictly as a paramedic, but trained in firefighting when he came here.
Our members are cross-trained, so in their roles as firefighters, they are also paramedics.
Lowe says that comes in handy in many situations, including car crashes, structure fires, and more.
So, for example, we had a trench collapse recently where our members are technical rescue specialists, but they're also paramedics. So while they're rescuing a trapped occupant in a hole, they're also able to provide medical care.
Lowe is concerned about the future of the integrated service. With agreements expiring this September, the province is updating how ambulance services are contracted.
They're very much approaching the 7 municipalities who have integrated firefighter and paramedics with a deal that says, here's our EHS direct delivery costs. Should you be more than that, which you all are, you have to subsidize that difference if you want to stay in the EMS industry. We want a 10-year deal out of you, and you have 2 weeks to say yes or no to this.
The province says it's now extended its deadline to municipalities until the end of next month. A ministry statement says the new approach supports fiscal responsibility while maintaining Alberta's long-standing blended model of public services and contracted partners. If municipalities decide to end their integrated service, it says they'll transition to EHS or become part of a competitive search process.
A for-profit provider to come in a municipal shop and run the provision of EMS, they will put profit over everything else.
CTV News reached out to several impacted municipalities. All declined interviews, saying they are weighing their options. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Young Canadian curlers took over rinks across the city on the weekend for one of the biggest youth bonspiels in the world. It was also a golden opportunity to meet one of the best our country has to offer. Connor Hogg has more.
They've come from all over the country to compete in this Grand Slam for Canada's young curlers.
I feel like we're all really connected as a team, and we've really bonded over the past year.
Celebrating the end of a season as well as what's ahead.
It's a really fun spiel that everybody just comes to hang out at the end of the year.
Hanging out with the other curling friends.
Bond with everybody before we head off to a next season where some teams split up and some teams stick together.
The atmosphere here is friendly, with teams competing for a number of prizes. However, it's the experience that matters most. That's kept some, like the Duncan family, coming back for years with multiple players.
My daughter's on the ice right now. My son goes on a little bit later. It's fun to get to coach your own kids.
I've been here since the start, watching my brothers win it all the time, and I always want to be just like them.
The event is a family affair for many, including 2026 Olympic gold winner Mark Kennedy. He has a daughter playing, and Kennedy relies on his wife Nicole, family, and friends to make the bonspiel happen. He says it's a labor of love, creating a special place for curlers.
Some of these kids, maybe they don't get that at school, right? Or maybe they don't get that in their community at home, but they get it here when they come to the curling club and they feel like they're a part of something special. So that's the reason Nicole and I do it and continue to do it, even though the days are long and chaotic.
That's where the labor part comes in. Kennedy had appointments at 4 different rinks across the Edmonton area, which meant he had to do a lot of driving on winter roads. He says it's worth it to meet the kids, who always ask to see his new hardware.
You know, maybe someday that's their dream, that's what they want to do, and to hold it in their hands and know that it's possible and that it's real, I think goes a long way for their future.
Creating a community among the next generation of Canadian curlers. In St. Albert, Connor Hogg, CTV News.
People from across Canada came to take part in the Canadian Jigsaw Association's Alberta Regionals, hoping to piece together a win. There were individual and team competitions with close to 200 taking part. The solo winner finished the 500-piece puzzle in just under half an hour. She says she used any time possible to sharpen her skills.
It's one that I know I can do fast, so I've practiced it quite a lot in my lunch breaks at work for the last couple of weeks. So I was very lucky when this came out of the bag. So I moved to Canada a year ago, and puzzles and like the community and the people has been really helpful in me like settling in here and having sort of a community that makes me feel at home even when I'm a million miles away.
If you missed the regional contest, Nationals is open to everyone. That takes place in Ontario at the end of May. Oilers captain Connor McDavid is clarifying some comments following Saturday night's loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
They got a great system. They're perfectly coached. They all know what they're doing. All over the ice, it's impressive. They're a great team.
Lightning head coach John Cooper was McDavid's coach at the Winter Olympics. Some fans felt McDavid's praise for the Lightning and their coach was critical of Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch. Today, McDavid clarified that wasn't his intention.
No, we're not taking shots. It's just everybody can be better, myself included. Everybody can be better. It's not. It was more just complimentary of a great team in this league that came in and played a good game. Nothing more than that.
You know, when things are going well, it's usually there's very little criticism. When there's losing being had and you're not having the success that you anticipated, then yeah, everyone needs to look in the mirror and look at how you can make the team better.
The Oilers face the Mammoth tomorrow night at 7:30. Coming up next, an Air Canada plane crashes into a fire truck on an airport runway. And the province moves to give Albertans more power to fight deepfake AI.
We know that deepfake technology can be used in very harmful ways, and we want to make sure we're protecting Albertans.
Good evening, folks. It was a beautiful day today. Temperatures up to 5 degrees in Edmonton. A lot colder across the north, though, and that cold air is coming our way for the next couple of days, and there is snow. Significant snow on the way for tomorrow and Thursday, or tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll get into those details in just a few minutes.
Two pilots are dead after an Air Canada plane crashed into a fire truck while landing at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Dozens of people are injured. CTV's Jean-Vier Bushman reports on what may have gone wrong.
Parts of the mangled cockpit hang from the Air Canada Express wreckage as investigators piece together the cause of the collision.
Man, that wasn't good to watch.
Chilling audio from the air control tower reveals some of the communications leading up to the crash and its horrifying aftermath.
Man, that wasn't good to watch. Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier. I messed up. No, man, you did the best you could.
At around 11:40 p.m. Sunday, a Port Authority fire truck is responding to another emergency. Another plane reporting odor in the cabin.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta. Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta. Stop, Truck 1. Stop. Stop, Truck 1. Stop.
The CRJ 900, operated by Jazz Aviation, landing at LaGuardia, smashes nose first into the truck of the airport's runway 4.
Sadly, the 2 pilots are confirmed deceased, and notifications are being made by Air Canada's care team at this time.
A flight attendant was found nearly 100 meters from the plane, still strapped in her jump seat that was ripped from the airplane. CTV News has confirmed that her name is Solange Tremblay and that she was undergoing surgery.
We're fully supporting the relevant investigative authorities in their investigation to learn everything we can about these events.
Dozens of passengers were treated and released, but others are in serious condition in hospital.
Everybody screaming. Pretty quickly, we didn't have any directions because the pilot's cabin had been destroyed. So
he smashed his face into the seat in front of him, broke his glasses.
Sarah Dorner's husband, a professor at Montreal's Polytechnic Institute, was on board.
He smelled gas, so he was encouraging people to just slide down, go down the wing. He was there to catch them.
Canada's National Transportation Safety Board has also dispatched a team of investigators to assist in the probe. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
A controlled avalanche has closed the Icefield Parkway between Lake Louise and Jasper with no timetable for its reopening. The avalanche from Mount Hector sent snow onto the road, covering a 250-meter section of Highway 93. It's estimated the snow depth is at least 6 meters. The highway will remain closed until the debris can be removed. Parks Canada has been conducting controlled avalanches in the area. And 4 people are dead following 2 separate avalanches in the northern BC backcountry Sunday. Police say 3 heli skiers were killed in the first avalanche near Terrace. 1 skier was airlifted to hospital. 2 hours later, another avalanche claimed the life of 1 person near Pleasant Camp along the BC-Alaska border. 4 others were rescued in that incident. An Edmonton man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant in connection with 2 deadly shootings has been arrested. Isaiah Thomas Badger was arrested in Calgary last week. Police say the 19-year-old is charged with first-degree murder in 2 shootings in Toronto and Vaughan earlier this year. Police believe the victims were targeted, however say neither were involved with any criminal activity in the lead-up to their deaths. Alberta's government says it is looking to change an existing law to let people sue other people for sharing certain AI images. The change would apply to intimate images known as deep fakes. The head of a Southern Alberta Sexual Assault Centre says Alberta's rules around deep fakes are lagging behind compared to other provinces. Technology Minister Nate Glubish says the change should create a new layer of protection.
We know that deepfake technology can be used in very harmful ways, and we want to make sure we're protecting Albertans from those abuses. So I'm working with the Minister of Justice on some amendments to that Protection of Intimate Images Act. I can't remember the exact name, and we're looking forward to bringing that forward to provide stronger protections for Albertans.
Glubish says the legislation will expand to cover audio recordings. He's aiming to bring the legislation in this fall. Still ahead on CTV News, a woman's new best friend, a puppy of the sea.
I just all of a sudden started to relax, and then he did.
Coming up Tuesday on Your Morning Edmonton, deep dating. It's a trend to get personal on date number 1. How much should you reveal and what topics should be off the table? We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. 5 degrees this afternoon, 2 degrees above the average high, which is 3. Will not only be below average, but probably below 0 right through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We may not get back above freezing until Friday afternoon. Snowfall warning in effect for Grand Prairie, Hinton, Grand Cache, and then through the mountain parks, 20 to 30 here, 15 to 25 through these regions. This snowfall totals will push it close to 10 centimeters here in the Edmonton area. I think that might be on the high end of estimates. Just want to point out, don't get too worked up about the actual snowfall totals that you see here. They will vary. But you can see there's a nice little pocket here. Just look at the areas that get hit. Along Highway 16 west, or to the east of Edmonton. Highway 16 west of Edmonton, heavy snow. This is where you have that snowfall warning in effect. I think this is maybe overdoing it for Edmonton and underdoing it through these regions. There could be spots that see well over 20 centimeters worth of snow by the time we're all said and done with on Wednesday. Here in Edmonton, the least likely would be a trace to 3 centimeters. 10 to 15 looks a little more possible than that. This is the range that I think at this point looks most likely to me. 3 to 10. Probably closer to the higher end of that. We'll see how this plays out. Here's your timeline. Tomorrow morning, heavier snow falling in western sections. That moves east-northeast through the day. We get into some flurries or light snow by lunchtime through the afternoon. Snow and wind. Gusts will be about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. So with temperatures dropping through the day, it's going to feel in the mid-minus teens. Blowing snow will be an issue, certainly for the late day commute tomorrow. And then the heaviest of the snow looks like it probably pushes just north of the Edmonton area by the time we hit Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning. There's still some flurries or light snow off and on through the day Wednesday, but I think the bulk of the accumulation will be on the ground by the time we wake up Wednesday morning, and then maybe add another centimeter or 3 through the course of the day Wednesday. Minus 18 in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, minus 16 in Grand Prairie. We'll slide to minus 6 here in Edmonton, and then get even cooler tomorrow afternoon. Minus 12 Fort McMurray, minus 14 tomorrow afternoon in Grand Prairie, and minus 4 into Red Deer tomorrow with some snow here in Edmonton. Periods of heavy snow late in the day into early Wednesday. Should taper off later in the day Wednesday. Gusty wind, 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts developing through the afternoon Tuesday. So with temperatures falling to minus 8 tomorrow afternoon, feeling more like the mid-minus teens. Cool again Wednesday, Thursday, and then by the end of the week, certainly for the coming weekend, we should be back into the 5-degree range for daytime highs. That is your forecast.
A BC woman's daily walk on the beach resulted in her forming a friendship with an 8-legged creature. Adam Sawatsky reports.
When Catherine Dobrovolsky began her daily walks by the water, she never expected to form a friendship.
I just wanted to get some exercise in, enjoy the fresh air.
But Catherine soon realized she wasn't alone in being active by the ocean.
Every day there was something new here. It became addictive.
While the creatures Catherine encountered and caught on camera were countless, there was just one that really captured her imagination.
Just watching it camouflage and the way it moved, I was hooked.
Catherine kept her eye out for other little octopi until one day she noticed a big blob.
I just said, oh my God, I got to get a better, closer look.
Catherine was surprised to find the biggest octopus she'd ever seen, who rushed to get a better, closer look at her too.
I'm scared. The grip was so tight it felt like I was getting my blood pressure taken in my legs, and I was petrified. I was freaking out.
Catherine attempted to calm herself down by taking big breaths.
I just all of a sudden started to relax, and then he did.
The octopus loosened its grip, left her leg, and transformed into a shape that felt like the start of a wordless conversation.
There was a connection. He felt me and I felt him. Oh, you're beautiful.
And they spent the next hour together.
Look at you. It was the best day of my life.
Before continuing their conversation over the past few weeks.
Oh my God, are you ever soft? He's sort of like an underwater puppy dog now. Love you.
Now, Catherine says the octopus she calls baby seems to recognize her, regularly swimming up to her leg to give a hug and receive an appreciative pat.
Look at you. You're so pretty. Now we're buds.
And their friendship, Catherine says, is powerful and a privilege.
I was giving him love, and he gave me love back.
A love that Catherine hopes will inspire others to connect with the natural world, with curiosity, appreciation, and respect.
Good baby.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
OEG is holding another festival in Fan Park this summer.
The crazy in me sees the crazy in you, and I think I need...
Kesha is one of the headliners for the first Neon Skies Music Festival. The two-night festival also features Conan Gray, Natasha Bedingfield, and Heidi Montag. OEG has big plans for the festival.
Really trying to raise Edmonton's profile as a premier host of live entertainment and events, and festivals is a really big part of that strategy. And we're looking forward to this event growing year over year and really becoming Edmonton's signature event.
Neon Skies is scheduled for July 17th and 18th. Tickets go on sale April the 8th. And that's our show for this evening. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. I'm Jeff Hastings. Good night.